Hi everyone. I saw this particular video and I laughed at first. Then I realized how sad it is. Millennials are people that are now aged 27 to 42, and Gen Zers are people that are now 11 to 26 years old. Everybody is in trouble, don't get me wrong, but millennials and Gen Zers are in deeper trouble, especially if they're employees, and even more so if they have student loans. Those that are paying into the Social Security system are not going to reap the benefits of Social Security. For every currently retired person, there are only 2.8 people working jobs to pay for their living expenses or whatever they do with their money. So, the money being taken from their checks is going to someone else to utilize. You notice that I didn't say to enjoy retirement because many of the current retirees are not enjoying retirement. As for the young folks with student loans, research shows that the number one barrier to home ownership for young people is student loans. Some of them paid over $100,000 for their so-called education, only to land jobs making $50,000 or worse, not finding a job in their field at all and working retail. Make that make sense. When they even think about buying a home, their credit scores, specifically their debt-to-asset ratios, are off, prohibiting them from just about any type of meaningful loan. Yeah, they'll give them a credit card to charge up shoes, clothes, and toys, but they won't give them a home loan. Since home ownership is one of the main pathways for the average person to create wealth, these young people are trapped. Let me explain why home ownership is an important key to building wealth. In most cases, when you buy a home, it increases in value. Then, either you can go around bragging that you have lots of equity, let's say $150,000 of equity in your home, or you can use that equity to create wealth. Cash accumulation, meaning letting your equity sit around unused and unproductive, is like sitting in swamp water. It'll eventually attract bloodthirsty mosquitoes and other pests. But that's a study for another day. Cash flow is 100% more important than cash accumulation. For example, I had a good bit of equity in my home. So in 2020, I took that equity out and created an asset that brings me over $1,000 every month. That equity grew even more, and I did it again. Now, if I had left that equity in that stagnant swamp, I wouldn't have one and soon to be two additional streams of income. This income is being used to replace the equity, and I can keep doing it over and over again, creating more hard assets. Well, Sherry, I don't have a home, you might say. Well, I found another way to do virtually the same thing without having real estate. That's the beauty of being focused on financial freedom. If I were a young person right now, knowing that there's only a snowball's chance that I'll receive Social Security that's being taken out of my paycheck, I would find other ways to secure my financial freedom. One way is to become a digital nomad. There are thousands of people working for American or multinational companies, but living abroad and accumulating wealth. For example, if you work for a multinational company and you live in the States paying rent for $2,500 a month, there are other places that you can go and live for more than a year and pay only $500 a month in rent. If you save the difference and use it to accumulate hard assets, you'll build a solid financial future rather quickly. Another way for young people to escape the rat race is to start a home-based business while you're still working that stateside job. They can use the job funds to pay their living expenses and student loans and use the business earnings to grow the business, buy hard assets, and start more businesses. As I've stated before, none of the millionaires that I personally know graduated from college. The thing about them that drove them was that they didn't have confidence in a job or in the government. They had the wherewithal to avoid falling into a comfort zone, and they had the drive to take charge of their own financial futures. Young people and older people need that drive. What I'm encouraging you to do is take back your financial future from those that have steered you in the wrong direction. Learn how to build wealth and build a legacy for yourself and your family. That's what I've been doing. It's something that takes time and it takes patience, which I kind of have a hard time being patient. But the thing is to not give up. When you get a setback, like COVID was a really, really big setback for me because I was on a roll and I got knocked down by that. But I got back up. And slowly but surely, we're continuing on to build that legacy, to build that wealth. And I'd love to have someone else like you taking that same direction so that your family can be secure. Your children, your grandchildren, they all need to be secure. You guys see what's going on in the Middle East. You see that the United States is involved in a whole bunch of stuff on other soil. And I'm pretty sure that they're not telling you on the lamestream media that there are some chances that we might be in some trouble over here from the blowback that's happening over there. So you really, really need to pay attention to what's starting to come in or what's coming into your household concerning income and what you're doing with it. In other words, how is it flowing out? It'd be a very dangerous thing if at some point your income slows down or stops, because those bills don't go anywhere. And these multinational bankers and the corporatocracy, the banksters and all these people, they really don't care. They don't want to hear a story about, a lot of people learned during 2008 and they learned during 2020 and 2021 that these corporations don't care. They don't want to hear your story. They don't want to hear why you're not able to pay for a bill. So we need to not have these excuses. We need to go ahead and start building up wealth. Young people, I want to say you have a bright future, and you will have a bright future if you don't mess up now. If you spend time sitting at home watching television after your job, that's not going to cut it, because what you're doing is you're really making somebody else rich. So go out and find a home-based business or explore being a digital nomad. There's a lot of information out there online about people who have moved all over the place. They end up loving the places. Some of them move there permanently. But even if you don't, the cost of living in so many places is so low that you'll be able to make it. And not only that, you'll be able to save lots of money. And what you do with that money is important. So if you save money and you start buying hard assets, you're saving up for a house, save up for some land somewhere, those are the great things that you can do when you live offshore. And then you get the experience of living somewhere else, seeing other cultures and seeing that the United States is not the end all and be all. So that's all for today. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And please go over to SherryPeelJackson.com and subscribe on my website. You'll get a free chapter of my book, How to Stick It to the IRS. Not only am I taking back control of my financial future, I'm taking back control from other social media platforms that at any time can wipe out any of our channels. Building my own platform and list can ensure that we can stay connected and you won't miss out on important, relevant information. Be sure to get the latest information from my perspective as this current financial and geopolitical saga unfolds. And until next time, this is Sherry Peel Jackson signing out.